Welcome, Jody. What's it like in the Kootenays today?
It's very hot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Is that a good thing for you? Some people love the heat, some people don't.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait to be outside.
Wonderful. All right, guys, I noticed that the pace of sign-on is slowing down a bit, so I'll get started today. We've got a bunch of folks sharing some information and stories, so maybe we'll just start by introducing who from the council's on the call. And I realized, Jeff, I should have you on here too, so forgive me for that. So I'm Colleen Kennedy. I'm the Director of Innovation and Engagement with the council. And I'll hand it over to Andy, Robin, and Jeff, who doesn't have a picture, just to introduce themselves. How about you go first, Andy?
Hey guys, I'm Andy. I'm the Engagement and Campaign Specialist here at the BC Patient Safety and Quality Council.
Hi guys, Robin Speedy. I think you're probably getting used to seeing our faces and hearing our voices, so nice to see you all on the call today, also with the council.
Jeff here from the council. I'm a quality leader with surgery, and I don't have one of these beautiful pictures yet. I don't think I've made the cut and have my beauty factor yet, so I'll work on that.
Get right on that, Jeff. Oh, thanks a lot.
So Tracy, just to let you know, I've muted you because there was some feedback on the line. I think maybe looks like you're connecting with a headset, so I've just put you on mute. If you wanted to say anything at any time, just make sure to click the unmute button before you do, okay?
Thanks so much, Robin. All right, as usual, everyone, if you have any questions anytime during the call, please feel free to interject or stick up your hand or put a note in the chat box, and we'll try and keep watching those as well. I notice people are introducing themselves online in the chat box, so we can see who's on the call today, and welcome, everyone. We're really thrilled to have you. So for today, we're just going to do a few things. So we want to give a little update on where things are at. And of course, we'll do our usual ambassadors in action, which we're always excited to hear what's happening out there in terms of promotions around Change Day, and never fail to be inspired by the work that's going on to promote Change Day BC. And so we'll hand it over to that group shortly. We also have a little update on our Goose Chase quest. We've added a few kind of challenges and a couple additional super missions that have bonus points that you can check out. We also have Change Day BC Hits the Road. And that's a little event that Andy and Robin are going to tell you all about that we're planning for the summer. So we'll go from there. So to start with an update, we wanted to give you an update of where things are at. We're really, really, really thrilled to say that we hit the 1,000 pledge milestone this week. And as of the making of this infographic, which was Tuesday, June 9th, we had 1,008 pledges. And as of this morning, we actually are up substantially to, I think we're at 1,040 something, and I updated it and I wrote it on a different piece of paper, so I don't have it here right under my nose. But we're sitting at over 1,000, just about 1,050 pledges, I believe, right now. So we're really close. Yeah, I just confirmed 1,048 pledges. The other thing is we're looking at right now, we have 156 ambassadors, so people who've signed on to be volunteer ambassadors for Change Day BC, so we're really excited about that. And our partner numbers are now up to 38 partners. We also had a huge interest from the Doctors of BC and a number of the divisions of family practice when we were at a meeting last week. So we're so excited about where this is going in terms of both our partnerships that are starting to get created as well as the number of ambassadors out there. And certainly we're seeing this with our pledges. So moving along, sort of looking at these pledges, we actually were very curious, and I think, and so I'm just, right now we're looking at where things are at with the pledges in terms of a trajectory. What we know with most Change Days is that the pledges tend to come, the bolus of them tend to come in the last 6 weeks. So we kind of tried to map out a bit of that kind of curve for Change Day. And we've sort of just overlaid the pledges we've received to date to get a sense of where we're at with our goal. So the green line shows sort of our projection of pledges, or our goal pledges, and the orange line shows where we're at for Change Day BC. And you'll notice that the 1,008 pledges that's on this map was for effective June 9th. It doesn't include the full month of June. If we continue to receive pledges at the rate we've been receiving them, we should be exceeding our pledge goal by the end of this month. So I'm really, really hoping that we can do that. I just wanted to share this with you. Any thoughts from anyone out there in terms of where we're at on our pledge front?
Colleen, it's Ray. That trajectory that's been experienced by the NHS and others in this kind of campaign.
Yeah, so I would say we're far from scientific around this, Ray, if I'm going to be truly transparent with you. But yes, what they have found is those final 6 weeks are the truly key weeks for when the bulk of the pledges come in. And we know some organizations, and PHSA is going to share a little bit today, are just really getting into their launch of Changed ABC right now. So we're really hoping to see, with all the momentum and activities that are happening across the provinces, continue to just take off.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. In terms of the other work that's happening, we did do our education sessions, and so we had 3 workshops, one in Kelowna, one in Vancouver, and yesterday in Victoria, on being an effective change agent. And there was over 200 people who attended those workshops, or just close to 200 people attended those workshops. Now, the slides for the first 2 sessions are available up on SlideShare, and actually Victoria is up there now too. It just got a slightly different name. But for those of you who want to check out the slides from that event, you can just click on this link, and it will take you there. And I just realized, are we recording this already, Robin? I should have warned people about that.
Yeah, it's on record.
Sorry, guys.
You should make sure to record them so we can share the file in the newsletter afterwards, and then that way those that can't join are able to listen in.
Yes, I'm sorry, everyone. I should have disclosed that before we started, but this link is in the presentation, so you can access it there. Or perhaps, Andy, if you don't mind just copying and pasting it into the chat box, and people can always click on it and check out the slide deck. That would be great. So really want to hand it over now to our ambassadors. This meeting's really not about us. This ambassador's about you. This meeting's about you in terms of all the work that you're doing across the province to help promote Changed ABC. And so we're really excited today for our 3 presenters who are joining us. I'm going to first hand it over to Polly Camp from Fraser Health. Polly is with the Acquired Brain Injury Program in Surrey, BC. She's a social worker. I think the really cool thing about Polly is she was a very, very early adopter at the grassroots level, and some of the successes she's had around Change Day have been really inspiring. So that will be followed by Debbie Johannesson from PHSA, and I will give a more appropriate introduction of you at that time, Debbie, and then Ray Hill from Interior Health. But we'll start by handing it over to Polly right now, and thanks for joining us, Polly.
Thank you so much, Colleen, and I thank everybody for being online. That's a great turnout. That's a picture of our group right in the front at the Acquired Brain Injury Program in Coquitlam. So the Acquired Brain Injury Program is a regional program across Fraser Health. There's only one of its kind. There's about 30 of us social workers, OTs, PTs, and rec therapists that cover the whole Fraser Health region, serving over 4,000 patients. We have a very dynamic team. I joined this team about 2 years ago, having come from mental health and substance use counseling. With this team, they're a very engaged group, but this whole concept of engagement radicals, it was a new concept to the group. Fraser Health has about 150 engagement radicals across the region. Carol Faulkner, Dale Min have been very instrumental in having monthly check-in sessions. So what we get from the engagement radicals group is a tool of the month. We get some education. We kind of look at our progress and how we're doing with each of our teams. We try to encourage other members of our team to become engagement radicals. And the way I found out about BC Patient Safety and Quality Council was through my engagement radical work. When the BC Quality Forum happened, I was just taken away with Helen Bevan and the amount of energy and ideas and the positive, just a positive flow in that whole room. And that's when I decided to become a change agent and become an ambassador for change. So I asked a number of our group, so I work at 2 different sites. I asked a number of people in both sites. In the acute site at YRC, which is Yale Road Center, it's an inpatient facility for acquired brain injury patients. I asked who would want to kind of join me on this little venture to see how many pledges we can get. And initially, you know, there's always a lot of resistance and how are we going to motivate staff, and there's already so many other committees going on, and how do we do this? And I said, let's just make this simple. Social Work Week is coming up, and that was in March. And the Change Day launch was on March the 11th. So it's just a really good time to say, in celebration of Social Work Week, we're also launching Change Day BC. You know, please come for coffee and cake to celebrate Social Workers Week. While you're there, you know, collect the pledge cards, you know, get some lanyards. So I asked Carol Faulkner, I said, Carol, like, how do we kind of get the materials and how do we kind of get this going? And Carol said, you know what, contact BC Patient Safety. She helped me make the connections. Within a day and a half, I tell you, all the materials came to my office, and that's what really impressed me was how fast, you know, BC Patient Safety actually responded. So I had this huge box with the lanyards, the pledge cards, the pins, all the promotional materials, like all the postcards and the big posters. So that really helped us figure out, hey, now we actually have something to give away to people, because people want to come and, you know, have a piece of cake and take something away. So we did that. We just ended up having a day, a coffee day, and we just put out the cake. We said, if you come and you fill out a pledge card on, you know, right while you're there, you'll get either a lanyard or a pin, or you can take the pledge card away with you and then fill it out and hand it in afterwards. A few people filled them out on site, so we did this in 2 sites. We did this at the community office in Coquitlam, and we did this also at Yale Road Center, the inpatient setting where I work full-time. We just went up to the unit, took a little cart, talked to everybody about Change Day BC. We've had the posters everywhere. Up to date, you know, we've had over 50 pledges. We've encouraged staff to actually go onto the Change Day website and put in their pledges online as well. So I think getting the support, I think for me the learning was to get that support from a recognized, organized team, get the materials in place, have kind of a game plan. And our monthly sessions, we always talk about Change Day BC. It's a regular ongoing topic. We talk about where our pledges are at. Our team, I've been able to encourage another staff member to join me in this whole ambassador piece. So it's just been very exciting for all of us. And I think, you know, just having a very eager team makes it easier, but also kind of connecting to my Engagement Radicals work, which I do every month anyway. So once a month I'll present to our team about the tool of the month. Linking that in with Change Day BC is always a nice way of keeping the concept alive and keeping the group energized about it. So my own personal pledge on the Change Day website was to get as many people sharing their pledges as possible, at least putting the knowledge out there and the education and knowledge transfer, and with that, getting as many pledges as possible. I'll stop at that. I don't want to take up too much time because I know we've got 2 other presenters, but if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. I'm in Fraser Health. Colin's got my contact information, so if anyone needs to know how to kind of help mobilize your team, and we did have some struggles and some bumps along the way, so if anyone has any questions or they want to call me, I'm more than happy to share our experiences.
I just want to say that I think it's really cool to hear about how you were introducing people to the campaign and sharing it by starting with what your pledge is. I really love that because I think it just helps link it back to everybody's personal reasons for being a part of this campaign, and I think it's a really great approach to help people understand, you know, oh, wait, this isn't just a thing, you know, someone actually cares about this and there's some meaning behind it, and also gives them some ideas and examples. So I just really love that you did that.
Thank you.
I love it too. And I think the other thing I really think is really neat and holds lots of possibilities for others as they move forward on this journey is how you leverage sort of other initiatives and events and work that you were already doing, such as the Engagement Radicals work or Social Work Week, to kind of promote Change Day. So you're kind of doing a dual promotion, which is really fun. And I also love how you built it into your regular meetings. It's something that's just kind of always on the radar, which is also really wonderful. Thank you.
And the one thing I forgot to mention, Colleen, is being in an inpatient setting, it was great with clients. We don't have a lot of rec therapy programs here. And so one of the things we found was very interesting was just to take up a few pledge cards. One day I had a healthcare worker saying, you know, we've got a lot of behavioral clients on our unit, and it was just a very tough day for our healthcare worker, and he just said, I can't find enough things for these guys to do, and we have got a lot of acting up behaviors and whatever. What can I do with them today? And I just said to him, take a whole bunch of pledge cards, take them upstairs, have a few clients write down just their wish, their dream, their goal, something simple. What kind of a change would they like? So he was able to fill out about 10 to 15 cards. And it was an activity that was kind of like, it's like rec therapy, but it's also engaging each client. And I've had a number of clients come to my office since then and say, hey, I wasn't there the day these orange cards were given out, or can I have a pin? And so then I tell them again about Change Day. So every single day I'm trying to incorporate it into my practice the best I can. And I know that others on the unit, our healthcare workers, have really embraced the idea. And I've said to them, if you ever have another day like that where you just have so much you know, you're just kind of frustrated with the way, you know, the rec therapy is going, or there isn't just enough resources. We're always kind of talking about, you know, not enough resources and how do we do more with less? Well, this is a perfect example. We had the pledge cards handy. We didn't have a rec therapist for the day. We didn't really have a structured day at all. But to put something negative and put a positive slant on it, and to get the pledge cards handed in, I think that took a lot of great work on the part of the healthcare worker.
Oh, it's amazing. That's fantastic. That's really great to hear what you've done. Love to hear if there's any questions on the line from any of the other ambassadors. A quiet lot today. I just really want to thank you so much, Polly, for sharing. Would you be okay if I shared your email address with folks in our chat box if they want to connect with you? Is the Hotmail account okay with you?
Why not? Yes, that's fine as well. I'll email you my Fraser Health one as well, so I can see the emails during the day.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
If you want, Polly, you can just type that into the chat box for all participants.
Sounds great. I'll do that right now.
Perfect. I'll let you just share it there then, and we're all good to go. I was going to pop your other one. So thank you so much, Polly, for sharing your story, and it's really great to kind of hear where you're at and what you're doing. And I think as others sort of head out in their journey, I think it can really help inspire them. And speaking of inspiring journeys, I guess I want to hand it over right now to Debbie Johannesson. And really, Debbie's the BC Children and Women's Director of Quality and Safety and Accreditation. I hope I got that right, Debbie.
Close.
And she is, it's really amazing to hear PHSA. They've kind of come together and they're taking a super strategic approach in terms of how they're implementing Changed ABC and what it's going to look like across PHSA. And it's just amazing to see their plans as they start to shape up and how coordinated an effort it is. So I'm delighted to hand it over now to Debbie to share what she's been up to.
Thanks so much, Colleen. So I'm from PHSA, but my portfolio is only BC Women's. But myself and another quality director from BC CDC actually are trying to spearhead this for PHSA. And for when you're planning anything from a health authority, there's the desire to get out there and go do this. But there's also the let's hold on, let's make sure everybody knows, building that awareness when you're looking at change and making sure that all our leaders are on board with this, that there's no surprises, so that there's less resistance and maybe some fun can come of this. So I think that was kind of the strategy that we were trying to come up with. I think at the local level for BC Women's, a few of us have attended the Quality Forum, and we saw the launch of BC Change Day coming, and we brought it back to our own personal agencies. And everyone's been kind of thinking, when are we going to do this? When is the best time? And kind of trying to be thoughtful, because so much is happening on our site, because we're destroying a hospital, building a hospital, doing CST, a number of things. But this really seems like a fun thing to do, and it's really, we want it to be grassroots and really to be owned and operated by the people doing the work on the front. But we also needed to recognize we needed our leaders engaged with that as well. So that was our strategy. We kind of came together and said, well, let's have a uniformed approach, kind of saying, make sure all leadership is on board, and came up with an action plan, if you will, with regards to where we're going. Colleen, if you could just advance the slide if you have it or not.
Oh, no, the only one I have is this. Did you send something else?
I did, but that's okay. So what we were trying to do is, from a timing point of view, our PHSA board is meeting June 16th, 17th. And so, of course, we want to make sure our board members know kind of this is a fun activity, a good thing coming forward, and I actually want pledges from them with regards to how do we do change. But again, bringing it to Carl Roy, who's our CEO, getting his endorsement. So we crafted something for him, talking about Change Day, high level, why is it important, where did it come from, and that he fully supports where this is going. And he's giving direction to the VPs who head children's, women's, all the agencies within PHSA, saying, I would like you to message that as well to all your staff. I think we should kind of all support this. So it's going to be a cascading effect to be coming out for June 16th. We're also going to be targeting something in our newsletters that's coming out all across PHSA. So again, here's what's new in the zoo coming to you. Again, being very strategic with working with our communications people to make sure that we've got all our dots dotted and T's crossed, because communication is key, right? Whenever you're trying to engage people, there's always, well, what about me? I didn't know. Even though it's a fun thing to do, I think we're finding corporately we need to make sure that we get it out and make that awareness for everybody there, and creating that desire, so to speak. So yeah, we're going to share with you the PowerPoint that we've started, even though the official launch has not come out yet of June 16th. We are putting kind of a teaser up on one of our poster boards, and we're using a theme of oceans, because in one of the quotes that is used in Change Day is, and I probably will get this wrong, but it's, individually we are one drop, but together we are an ocean. So we're taking that theme, and if we just sent the PowerPoint to you, if you want to pull that up and put it on.
Perfect.
the background is a scene of an ocean, and we've cut out and made some drops, and we're envisioning putting our change day ideas on there in drop forms, and we just put a teaser there, kind of stay tuned. And so hopefully that'll create curiosity for people. They're starting to see some signs. We're starting to talk about it. Even I've been sending out some gentle messages saying, can we have a meeting about this kind of concept? And people are saying, oh, well, can you come to active staff meeting? Can you come talk about this? So there's that desire now. People are starting to think about this. I just attended a PHSA directors meeting. As again, we're educating the quality directors and risk directors for PHSA, saying, here's more information about the program, here's all, get your resources on board, here's how you can do that, here's our strategy for our communication, go have some fun. But make sure everybody knows about what's coming down the pipe. So at that meeting as well, I showed them all the swag that is available for free from you guys, which is absolutely awesome. And of course, they all wanted something, and I said, well, I would be happy to give you the lanyards or the buttons, whatever you choose, but I would like to see something from you. And so I wanted their pledges. And appreciating the folks that I hang out with at that particular meeting are more behind the scenes people with the quality and safety and risk and strategic planning. And so really what really spoke to me was a lot of their pledges were how do they take care of themselves? Because, and I believe this too, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the people you care for who care for the patients. So what was it that they could do to help our whole system as a healthcare system? So I acquired all their pledges and I entered them all in, and then I posted them outside my office. And the traffic outside my office is just amazing, and people are asking again more questions. And that is another strategy with my little 5-minute elevator speech wherever I go. I just was speaking to a person who spontaneously invited me to talk about it at another meeting. And then I've asked that they put their pledge, their change day pledges on their doors. So again, as traffic goes by, people stop and they think about it, and then they ask, well, what is this about, right? And it creates that curiosity, and it's such a great idea, and it's very simple. So although the concept and everything should be grassroots and owned by the people doing the work on the front, we are just making sure that everybody is aware of where we're going with that. And just on a side note, I go to a fitness group 3 times a week, and I was, of course, giving my elevator speech about these great things that's coming forward. And the people in my group were saying, well, why don't we know about this? Is a BC thing. We need to know about that. Can you talk to our class? And I'm going, well, of course, but of course I'll get pledges from them. And then I've been asked to go speak at a Vancouver Community College for a nursing program, and to talk about change for them. What is that going to look like? What are their dreams and what are their hopes? And again, just spreading that word. It's very simple concepts, and again, they're part of the solution of how we can make healthcare better. So we have lots of strategies going on. This is, I don't know if you've got our PowerPoint with the ocean display yet.
Can you see it on my desktop right now? Is it there?
We sent it to you via email. Oh, you've got it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good. No. Yeah, I just got it. Thank you so much, Yvonne, for sending that.
Yeah, so that's, and we're hoping that, although we don't want to be directive, we're hoping the theme would go across all of women's and children's. And this is just the start, because I want the units to take ownership, to say, hey, can we have one on our unit? Because then it's them wanting that to own it. Again, I don't want this to be top down and saying you have to have one on your unit. I want them to ask, and we will share and say, would you like it? But again, it's really listening to the people and meeting their needs with regards to this initiative going forward. I don't know, Yvonne, do you have anything else?
No, I think it's just we're just waiting for the launch, and once that goes, that general memo goes out, then that's the beginning of our campaign.
I love what you have done in terms of really building this kind of anticipation for the launch leading up to it, and I think that's a really neat coordinated approach. And I think in terms of those possibilities for us to promote Change ABC in our everyday lives, so at the gym where we work out and all of those things is just wonderful. I just really appreciate you sharing that. I think this CNW Crossroads display is really fun, and you should get this up on the Change Quest because it's so wonderful. We'd love to steal this photo and use it and tweet about it if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, and we call it Crossroads because it's the intersection between going to the cafeteria. So children's people go through this common area, as does women's people go through it. So lots of traffic go through, and that's why we called it kind of the crossroads of everything. So it's one of their best strategies to kind of pique an idea or to display something. It's hard to get into, but it's we manage, so it's great.
Oh, fantastic. Any questions or thoughts for Debbie or Yvonne?
I would just like to say that I really love the on-the-door idea, because it just does something about the individual, and it starts that conversation, and it's so simple.
Yeah, and it's so simple, right? It is, and especially those bigger postcards that really, they're very colorful, they draw the eye, and you can't help but see it every time you walk past your different corridors. So I always keep these things with me, I keep a swag bag with me pretty well most of my meetings for those opportunities. And it's, you know, I don't own it, I'm just helping spread the love and helping get people excited about this.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, go ahead, Ray.
Great work. Yeah, thank you. That's good. I do like that the poster that's up on the screen now. That's a great idea near the cafeteria. Catch people where they are, and the idea as well, just chiming in with the change day cards on your door or on your cubicle or wherever you happen to work. That's great.
Yeah, and just to add to the poster idea, that's from the dollar store, so very cheap, economical to do, and so you just have to kind of get a board somehow to put it up. We often have those display boards around. The other thing we're going to add to that when we fully launch is using a plastic kids bucket and pail for people to put their pledges in. So again, the theme of the ocean and playing at the seaside. And just kind of playing up on that. I don't know what else we're going to come up with, but just something for them to capture their pledges and put it in. Then we will enter them in. Different people will be taking on that role. But again, making it more fun.
Debbie, there's just a question in the chat about what the plans are for June 16th itself. Have you guys worked out the details of that in terms of how you're going to formally launch it?
No, we haven't gotten that. You know, I know it's soon, but we haven't got. It was mainly the communication strategy of what we're going to go forward with that. We don't. Oh, sorry, Yvonne.
I think there's going to be a page on one of our intranet.
Right.
We also have a pod, which is shared within PHSA, and so newsletter, weekly emails to staff, and those things are coming on the 16th, I believe.
But not really a celebration with regards to cake and cookies. We haven't really gotten down that road. If that was the question as well, if we're going to do some sort of fun thing in the crossroads for staff type of thing, but we haven't gotten there.
That's just a beginning point.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Really appreciate you sharing this. And I think, you know, what I am always astounded with is the uniqueness of each and every idea and each and every approach, regardless of which organization you're from. There's just so much energy and ideas around this. So really appreciate you sharing, because it just gives us that chance to possibly steal shamelessly from each other and see what else we can do to make this so much stronger. So thank you so much, Debbie and Yvonne, and thanks for sending that presentation to me, Yvonne, and I apologize for not seeing it.
Oh, no, that's okay. You got it now. So
yeah, thank you so much. And we're going to tweet that picture out today, too, so thank you very much.
Great, thanks.
Any other final, it's brilliant. Any other final questions for Yvonne or Debbie?
No, thank you.
I'm going to hand it now over to Ray Hill. So Ray Hill is the Manager of Human Factors and System Safety with Interior Health. Let's hope I got that one right, Ray. And he's going to share some of the work that's been happening across Interior Health around Change Day BC. And Ray, I can be your personal slide advancer, so just let me know when you're ready for the next slide.
Thanks, Colleen. Yeah, next slide right away, I think. But what I wanted to give today was a rural perspective of how we do this over large geography, and so this is kind of the theme of this little update. Next, please, Colleen.
Slow.
Great. Okay, good. So there was a great little pledge from Shelley in Northern Health. I really love that, of commitment to eat more organic vegetables. So that was right in the center of it. The theme that I'm seeing from our work is that caregivers taking care of themselves so they can give better care to others. So, there's an example of have my patients, make them smile every day, volunteer more, maintain a healthy, supportive environment for new staff. So it's really about people supporting others and caregivers caring for others. So that's kind of the central theme I think I'm seeing. Next slide, please.
Yeah, can I just ask a quick question, just because you've got this image up, Ray? We have the pledge cards that we use in our photo booth, and these look a little different, but they're really cool. Can you tell us a little more about those?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we wanted to have it possible to take the photographs with the pledge in front that are a little bit bigger, and so we just went to our local sign shop and got sort of whiteboards made up with and we borrowed the logos and all that stuff. And we just had these made up. They're cheap. They're $10 a piece or something like that, or less. But so we put those out for the Change Day ambassadors to have at their site. So when they take pictures, they're taking picture with a really big pledge card on the side. So we found that helpful.
Yeah, I really like this. Really, really like it. Great.
Thanks. Next, please. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of, the geography we cover is vast and some pretty beautiful geography as well, I might add. So we've had work in all of these areas, and so places to us that are somewhat, from a Kelowna perspective at least, somewhat remote. Williams Lake and 100 Mile House, there was a group there getting pledges just last week. Next week in Salmon Arm, there's our approach is somewhat opportunistic. We come when there's like nursing skills fairs and other things going on. There's been considerable work done in Kamloops and Vernon, in places as beautiful and remote as Clearwater. But I do want to highlight some work that Jody and the group have done in trail specifically. So I'll ask for the next slide then.
Yeah, and Jody just had to leave the call, Ray, just as a heads up. So. Yeah,
I saw that. Great, thanks. So this was her thank you note to the group. Now, Trail is a relatively small community, less than 10,000 people. The hospital, although it's a regional referral center, is only 80 beds, but they do some pretty high-end work there, and they've got they've got the busiest intensive care unit there between Kelowna and Calgary, actually. Currently, so they're it's rural, remote, and are often contained. And so, in our health region, there's 4 mountain ranges. So, getting anything spread evenly in that heterogeneous mix is difficult, and it really takes key people like Jody and Lynn Miller, who you'll see, to get this done. And so they took a couple of days and did some work in their hospital lobby for both patients and care providers along the way. So it was some great work. But only one of many things going on. But next slide, please, Colleen. So here are some examples. I won't read them, of course, but what really struck me was the theme, and it's the same theme I think that Debbie and Yvonne were talking about, that it's care providers caring for others and making it more healthy and happy to do that. That was kind of the central theme. The other thing I should mention is that we launched this a little earlier, kind of right after the forum, as soon as we could get our organization together. So about mid-April, we had a plan together, and we've had great support from Megan Kavanagh, our communications expert, in getting that stuff sorted. So we've been at this a little while, and are continuing to keep up the enthusiasm without it being perceived as a pressure, I suppose, because there's lots going on in our health authority, as is going on in yours. In addition, we're ramping up for accreditation in September, so that consumes a lot of oxygen, as you might imagine. So, but anyway, so great number of pledges and a really interesting theme, I think, that is very motivating and very personal. Next, please. So here's some examples of there's another one. There's Robin, who's a manager in Trail. Spend at least 15 minutes just listening to one of my patients. Just such an awesome connection with what often motivates us to get into healthcare to begin with. And there's Lynn Miller and Jody doing their work at to raise awareness on this work. So just one example, some great folks, but spreading this in a large region with somewhat sparse populations and smaller centers can be seen as a challenge, but I think sometimes it's easier to get stuff done in those smaller centers because people are more well known in a smaller fishbowl, I suppose. So anyway, so it's going pretty well, but we're keeping up the supportive nature of it and trying to ensure that it's not a burden.
That's awesome, Ray. It's really great to hear what you've been doing there, and I think it's kind of that slow and steady approach, which is just, starting early and kind of getting people on board. And I've really been keen to see sort of the pace at which all of a sudden things seem to take off for this campaign and really start seeing the pledges come in. And I also think it's amazing that, a site like Trail, which is so small, was able to get so many pledges.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It really boils down to the passion of individuals, doesn't it? Yeah. There's one more slide I want to share, I think. So I thought this was really great. And this is similar to, putting up your pledge, but just a simple reminder of if you've pledged, wear your pledge button and talk about it. And I heard Debbie and Yvonne talk about, always being an ambassador means that you talk about it. And bring it into the normal conversations that you have. So simple things that we can do. And again, a shout out to the Quality Council and Colleen and Andy and Robin and Jeff and everybody that it's so wonderful to have all of the materials, the process, the swag, all that stuff done up front. It is so helpful to, it's pretty easy to support when it's all done like that. So thank you so much.
Truly our pleasure. Thanks a lot, Ray, for sharing that. Yep. Any questions for Ray? Comments also welcome. Well, it's fantastic, and I'm just going to sneak in and just, I really love the diversity of ideas that are coming from this, so thank you very much, all of you, for sharing. I want to thank Polly, Debbie, Yvonne, and Ray for all taking the time to join us today and share what they've been up to at their sites. A little teaser for next month's meeting is that a few of us were talking about this at the start of the call, is there's this amazing young woman who's 10 years old who has made a pledge for Change Day BC. And Catherine, are you still on the call right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Catherine is her mom, so you can jump in at any time, but she's going to be joining us at our July meeting. And this 10-year-old girl, her name is Hannah, and Catherine is her mom. And Hannah has pledged to get 100 pledges at her school. That's what she started with. She made a pledge for Change Day BC to go get 100 pledges. Well, Hannah didn't seem to sit still long after she made that pledge. She went out and she invited her principal to get involved, and the school has now committed to get 450 pledges. She's taken it to her dad's pipe band. They've committed. They're trying to get 100 pledges there. She's taking it to her Taekwondo group, her Girl Guides group, and she's now single-handedly challenged Surrey Memorial Hospital to get more pledges than she does. So all in the hands of a 10-year-old girl, and I think that's pretty impressive and pretty amazing to see the viral and grassroots movement around Change Day. So thrilled to say that she'll be joining us next month to kind of share her story.
I think the thing is, too, it's Catherine here, is that I'm really allowing Hannah, like you say, the grassroots to grow with it. I presented that idea, knew if she really was excited, it could go places I would never even dream of. But the whole fact, the leadership opportunities for her, but also learning from myself that she was really, I guess, ticked in some respects that I photobombed her, and I was like, okay, what does that mean, Hannah? So there's lots of learning both ways.
Oh, that's great, though. Thank you. So I really look forward to hearing Hannah next month. Is there any other comments just before we move on to our final couple items on the agenda today?
Oh,
okay. All right, so for those of you on the call today, how many of you, if you actually have an online version, are on the Goose Chase missions? How many do you want to just show your hands if you've signed up for Goose Chase? Just have a few on the call today, or Goose Chase. I guess I should put my hand up too, shouldn't I, because I technically am on there too. Let me just take a look here. So we've got a few teams on the Goose Chase. Now, we noticed that some people have signed up for Goose Chase, but they haven't necessarily completed a lot of missions. But we know they're doing a ton of activity. We also had some super eager folks who got out there and got a ton of points right away. And we wanted to create one final blast. I think there's about 16 or 15 days left in our Change Quest before it wraps up for this season. And we wanted to offer you an opportunity. So we've created something called Super Missions. So there are 3 super missions that have been added to the Change Day BC Goose Chase, so our Change Quest. And those Change Quest missions are going to allow you to get way more points. So if you're one of those teams that's been kind of lower in the point category, we're actually going to give you double points for the pledges if you're able to complete these missions. And so there's 3 missions that have been entered into the system. So we encourage you to get online, check out those missions, and if you have a chance, start completing them. If you're someone who a team that hasn't had a lot of time to get in there and do this, it's a chance for you to get into the points rankings. So really, we just have less than 3 weeks to go, and we really want to invite you to get in there. We actually do have some prizes. So we have some coveted prizes that we're planning to order by the end of this week. That will be our prizes for our Change Quest. They are the coveted Change Day BC t-shirts, and they will be coming soon. So the winning teams will win an actual t-shirt, and we will keep you in the loop as we move forward. So what we're looking at is that right now our top 5 teams for Change Quest are the Vernon Change Day team, the IH Quality West team, the Rural TCS team, Impact BC, and the Chilliwack Division of Family Practice. So there's a couple other teams that are following close behind. I know they're really close. Today I'm just looking at on the call. Is Jane, you're on the phone today, I believe. Know that there's real possibilities for your team to get up in those numbers too. So we really want to encourage people to complete the super missions, and we'll be going from there. So we'll just tell you a little bit more. So just to reiterate, there's 3 super missions. For those teams with 0 points, there'll be bonus points for participating at this stage in the game. Each member of the top 3 teams will win a coveted Change Day BC t-shirt, and I know you're going to want one of those t-shirts. Andy designed them. You've seen all the fantastic swag he's designed so far. You know you won't be disappointed, and you'll have a t-shirt to wear leading up to Change Day. So just want to encourage those folks to head back to the Change Quest and see what else you can wrap up before it wraps up on June 26th. For anyone on the call today who doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about, please don't hesitate to just send an email to the Change Day email address, and we can send you more details. So that's all for now with the Change Quest, and we're going to hand it over to Robin to share with you something we've got planned for the summer.
All right, so, thanks for that slide. We thought we might be able to get your attention with a cute dog picture and pizza together in one photo. So hopefully if you were dozing off, this is waking you up a little bit. But really we just wanted to kind of introduce another fun little sub-campaign for over the summer. It's not super intensive in terms of what you would be doing, but we know that a lot of people go on holidays over the summer break, and we just thought it might be kind of fun to see Change Day travel the world a little. So if you wanted to bring with you a button or a lanyard or a little pledge card or something like that, and you want to snap a quick photo while you're on vacation, not a lot of effort required, but send it in to us. You can send it in via social media or by email, and we'll enter you in a draw to be, well, it'll be a competition for the best photo. So think about being a little bit creative with it, and if you send us in your photos, the top 3 photos will win a pizza party for their team for hosting a local Change Day celebration. So we'll cover some pizza to attract some more people to come by, and if it was something that you were planning already, this would just be a nice little bonus for you. So this is a fun, just really simple campaign that will run over the course of the summer, and we'll run it until September 11th once people start to get back to work and back in school. So feel free to bring bring your family into it, get some famous landmarks, have some fun with it if you want. But this is something we're going to spread the word about a little bit, and we've got a little one-page poster here that we'll send out in our next newsletter, and you can download that. It'll also be up on our website, and you can print it out and put it up at your place of work with your other Change Day stuff if you like. And yeah, just tell others about it. If we can get kind of representation from all over the globe, it would be pretty cool to have a few different people send these in from different continents. So hoping we might get some interesting photos coming through this. Any questions about that? What do you guys think of this campaign? Do you think it's something you would do?
That's a great idea. Everyone loves pizza, and the dog is eating.
I can tell you I'm in for sure. It's Colleen. I'm traveling all over the place this summer, so I can't wait to see how many places I can get photographs taken.
Yeah, there's no limit on the number you can submit. So if you get pretty crazy, you could have a lot of potential opportunities to win.
I noticed some check marks, so I'm assuming people are agreeing with their check marks as well. So great.
Cool. Well, thanks. Have fun with that. Let us know if you have any questions. We really look forward to seeing your pictures come in.
Wonderful. Oh, I didn't advance for you there, Robin. I'm so sorry. I just realized you couldn't see your fabulous picture of your pizza there, your next page over. That announcement will be coming out with a newsletter, as Robin mentioned. And just to wrap things up today, we just wanted to thank everyone very much for taking the time to join us. We really appreciate you sharing your ideas and everything that's going on. In terms of moving forward, I know there's so much activity going around the province, and if there's something you really want to share, we have a couple spots still for I think we've got 2 folks filled for our July meeting, so we have 1 more space if you want to share what you've been up to. Jane, I happened to hear through a little mouse that Delta View is doing some pretty cool stuff. I was wondering if you might consider presenting at our next meeting, because you're just doing some lots of activity there at Delta View. But so thank you, everyone. If you have a story you want to share, please, we're encouraging you to keep sending us your photographs, any stories that you'd like us to profile, and we'll happily do it. If you want to present at one of these meetings to share what you're doing, again, just send us an email, and we'll happily get you on there. The more we can share, the richer the campaign is, and the richer we can see this ripple of change across the province. So if there's any final questions, we'll just give you a minute now to ask any final questions.
Colleen, I know resources obviously are not unlimited, so are they running out soon, or do we still have enough that would get us through the summer?
Yes, a very good question. So we will be able to continue offering resources. The only limitation on that will be the lanyards. We have removed them from the website as an ordering option, I'm sad to say, because we're getting low on supplies, and we wanted to make sure we could fulfill existing orders that we've received. Just because of the expense of those, we're not going to be able to keep the lanyards, but every other thing we should be able to keep no problem, because the cost per item is relatively low, and so we should have those accessible right through to Change Day.
That's great. And good things come in small doses, right? Lots of things I say. It's great resources. I mean, thanks so much for that.
Oh, our pleasure. Our pleasure. Any other questions from anyone else on the call today? Well, with that, on behalf of Andy, Robin, Jeff, and myself, just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us again today. We really, really, really appreciate all the work you're doing out there for Change Day, and look forward to connecting again next month. And we'll talk to you all on July 8th.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.